Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Tanks Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new Sheridan in World of Tanks Blitz Update 7.5. Now, of course, this is a massive change to the game. In fact, this is one of the biggest changes I've ever seen Wargaming do. They called back a massive operation they did, and they removed the missiles, which I give them credit for, because I never thought that Wargaming was going to remove the missiles, and they swapped them out for heat shells on the XM551 Sheridan. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down, is the tank just as good as it used to be? Is it better, worse? What are my personal opinions? I'll be breaking down everything you need to know. So of course, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But without further ado, let's get straight into some gameplay and see how it works out. Now, the thing to keep in mind about the heat shells is they don't lose any penetration over the normal, the HCGMs, you want to call them, because the nice thing is that they still have the same heat pen. They didn't change values, it's just the fact that they're not missiles anymore. So you're not losing any penetration values, and actually a really nice thing about the heat that I've noticed after a couple practice games is that, of course, shell velocity is nice, and you don't have to worry about the reload. When you are using the the Sheridan with the missiles, every time you shoot a missile, your reload is being eaten into, because when they're in the air, you are not reloading your shell. So that's one thing that really kills your reload. While the heat shell here, you don't spend that extra time trying to guide the missile, maybe an extra 5 seconds, so you're not wasting your reload. It's something that's really nice, and, it might save you a couple seconds of time. It might actually save you in some games. So that's one really nice thing. Of course, the other thing that I like is the ability to play it like a light tank, and not a camping medium or something, is the fact that you snap and then you pull back forward. So that was a nice shot there. That was already a 500 damage shell, which of course is what you're supposed to try and do in a vehicle like the Sheridan here. Now, we've already racked out at least a little bit of damage here, so I can't feel too bad if I don't get out the most damage in the next couple of shots, because I don't really know necessarily what to do where I currently am. We've got the Kronwagen off to the side, and as well we got the Bat Chat pushing down. Let's see, actually, there's the Kronwagen again, so let's get another tap into him. So we've already done about 1,000 damage to that poor guy. But to be fair, he did just kind of pull right out in the open where he had been shot before, so I guess he was kind of asking for it. So, as well, we got the Sheridan in the bush parallel to us, so we could try and blind shot that, but it looks like he's not pulling out there. Oh, come on, back up further. Yes, nice shot into the Sheridan, another 567 damage round. So, this is kind of same old stuff here. You don't really need the fire missiles to do anything different here, of course, because I'm just playing the tank like I usually would. I think the heat is really just going to be an advantage when you're needing to get some penetrating shells out, which we'll see if we do. We've got the Kronwagen off to the side. We've also got like the Bat Chat in the back of the water. So right now, it's just a normal average game for the Sheridan. So let's pop up behind the Kronwagen. Let's see if we can get a nice shell out into his rear. So let's go for that track wheel. There you go. Nice tracking shot, tapping a big old chunk of his HP off once again. And now that he's tracked, we can reload another shell in a couple more seconds here, hopefully getting a big one into the Kronwagen. And let's see if we can do that just right now. So there's another big shell for 580, and we're already at 2,600 damage racked up. So pretty good so far for the Sheridan, as you can see. You don't really need the penetration to do super well in this vehicle. And that's one thing I've always thought made the Sheridan super strong, is the ability just to get out damage in general. Like, we got this WT here, and that's a big shell for 500 or 651, if I say that correctly. So we've already done over 3,000 damage this battle, which of course is a very, very respectable amount. So we got the WZ121 right here. Let's go to the side of him and let's aim in an HE. There you go. Big shell for 742, and this was a 4,025 damage game. Now you'll notice we actually didn't need the fire 1 heat shell, which is quite funny. So in this game, it was a good example that you don't need the heat even in the first place to usually do well in a light tank. That's one thing I've been saying many, many times about the Sheridan, is that a lot of people don't do well in the tank is because they're trying to fire so many missiles and connect so many shots that they're spending more time trying to do that than actually flanking and getting at the damage like they're supposed to in a light tank. So the Sheridan, it does a good job. If you play it in the correct positions, you know who to shoot at, what to rip apart, and as you can see, for the first game, 4,000 damage is nothing to be ashamed of. So let's of course load into one more and see how it works out. Now I'm of course all for the change of the missiles. I'm happy that they did it. As you can see, the mobility is fine where it's at, I personally feel. The penetration values for the standard, the HE, everything seems fine in my opinion. I really do give Wargaming a great job and great effort for removing the missiles, because I personally never ever thought that they were going to do it. So that's one thing I give Wargaming huge kudos to. Now, there is another advantage I can say for the heat shells, which is penetrating very well armored targets. I know that I've personally talked to a lot of Sheridan players, and they say that it's very hard to penetrate a vehicle like the Mouse and the E-100 with missiles occasionally because of trying to hit the turret weak spots. You hit the mantlet sometimes. You know, there's a lot of spots you do hit. So I can say using the heat shells are going to be a lot nicer trying to penetrate through the sides of big German super heavies, and as well trying to snap those shells on the turret armor. So we're going to see how it works out. And speaking of German super heavies, we're up against a Mouse and as well an E-100. So we got to see what we can do here. You know, if it's going to go well or terrible. So let's just find out. Now I do want to see how the heat shells are. I haven't fired any heat shells as it is yet because I haven't ever needed them. I'm so used to playing the tank as I normally do without the heat. I really don't fire them that much. So let's see. We got the 1-2-1 pushing off to the side, and boom, big shell into the side of him for 600 damage. So good job there from the Sheridan. You can see that it still has the ability to snap those big shots, which is really, really nice. And I can sit here comfortably knowing that I can't get hit by anybody off to the side, at least undetected by a missile. So we got the Leopard, who I can't really hit right now. We got the Sheridan up top. There's not much I can do currently. We might be able to snap a shell into the Leopard, though, which we did. There's another tap for 548. So we're already sitting over 1,000 damage with our 2 shells tapped. Actually, quite a good amount. 1,100 damage so far. We got the 1-2-1 in the back, and there's somebody capturing the base, which, of course, I'm going to try and spot. So let's see if we can do that really quickly. Oh, that's the Mouse. Let's see if we can aim in on his lower plate, and oof, just went a little bit to the side there, unfortunately. But nice thing, of course, is that the missile probably wouldn't have done too much better. So we can see if we can try and penetrate this this Mouse once again here. Oh, he missed a shot, which is perfect for me. Now we can pull out, aim in, and boop, nice tap for 453. Now I do not want to get hit by an E-100, of course. That's a big ol' shell I do not want to have in my vehicle. So we could try and get this Mouse tapped once again here, but at the same time, my team is losing HP very, very quickly. So let's see if we can tap this Mouse once, and then we're going to try and go somewhere else. So let's aim in and fire. Oof, that was a good aim shell. I did everything right there, but sadly it just did not want to connect. So let's see, we've got the 4005 off to the side over here. We've also got the 2 Sheridans off to the other side. So I'm thinking if I help out with the 4005 and we take him out very quickly, that should be good for the team. So let's aim in at the 4005. There we go, taking him out. 503, of course, that big alpha chunking off those shells. So we've able to finish him off, sitting at 2,000 damage, not too bad already. And if I played this correctly and I use my mobility, we can get to the side of the C-100 here, where he's not going to focus us, like I did there. Where, yeah, of course, he doesn't want to focus me. When I'm playing this tank correctly, I'm doing it, you know, to where I'm not going to get focused. Now, of course, enemy Sheridan focuses me out, but we are now going to earn the focus back on him, aiming an HE right at his lower plate. So let's do that, and kaboom! Oof, did not actually go in his lower plate to where I wanted it to, but you know what, we're doing it the best we can. We got the 2 Sheridans left on the enemy team, which of course is not the best. I don't want to, you know, try and fight a Sheridan. That's still one thing you never want to do in a Sheridan, is fight another, because it is a bit of a trade-off, you know, losing hit points to trade with each other. So I'm going to try and take out the other Sheridan as quickly as I possibly can, and with that big high roll there, that's something that's very, very nice. Now we got to back up here. I don't want to get hit by the enemies, of course. So let's see if I can play this correctly, get a nice little snap maybe into the enemy Sheridan. Oh, come on, come on. It was close. It was very, very close. And we got the Hori now rushing out of the corner, which is going to help me big time, because yeah, Hori big deadly tanks. So we've got the Hori there, we've got the Mouse in mid, who is playing quite aggressive, and I got to be quite careful to that. So let's aim in a heat shell maybe to the Mouse's turret. But at the same time, we got the Sheridan. Oh, and I missed my shell. Not necessarily what I want. With the team ditching me, that's going to be really bad for me, to be honest. I could possibly die here. Not really what I'm looking forward to. So let's see if we can turn our tank quick enough to get past and get big shell into you. Keep flanking the Mouse, and let's get away before it's too late. So go, go, go. Go! Okay, we're good. We got away. Thank you much. I'm very happy that we were able to get away. I wanted to take out that Sheridan. He'd been aiming at me for quite a bit of time, and I'm like, yeah, no. Okay, so we got the Mouse pushing off to what seems this side here, so we're going to pop around and go the other side. Yes, there we go. Good job. So we should be able to come up right behind this mouse very easily and start ripping him apart once again with the HP. And let's see if we can start doing that right now. So hello, comrade, big shell into you. 4,416 damage pulled out, and of course I can't complain in the slightest. So we can get one more shell into the mouse. Hopefully, we're going to see if that works out right now. And boop, there you go. Nice 501 heat shell into his lower plate, and there you go. So that was a good game. That was 4,900 damage pulled out. We didn't do any ramming or any fire damage, so I'm aware, so should just be about 4,900. There you go. So that was a good game. We did a very solid job. As you saw, the heat shells gave us the ability to penetrate enemy opponents that we normally would have struggled with the missiles, and I was still able to go through their armor. Unfortunately, we had that one weird bounce from the mouse, and I scuffed a couple shells, but we did a good job, and I personally feel that the Sheridan, if you use the mobility like I did in these two games, will still be an extremely strong tank. So my personal opinion is if you haven't grinded the Sheridan yet and you want to go for it, I would 100% suggest it's still a good tank, and it really is a fantastic vehicle. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider smashing that subscribe button, but other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and to be seeing you in the next one.